I'm gonna do a little follow-up video here on the Jeep Renegade situation. Uh, just kind of let everybody know I ain't forgot about it or whatever. But so basically nothing ever got resolved with the actual problem. Um, the dealership kind of kept giving me the runaround about one thing and another, and it went on for several months. And I'm gonna tell you what I done, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just letting you know what I done and how I handled the situation. It may not be for everybody, but I'm just letting you know. I can tell you this: I'm done with Chrysler, Dodge, and all of their products. I don't never have anything made by Chrysler. And no, this is not a Chrysler product. This is a Mahindra Roxor. Ain't got nothing to do with Jeep. I bought this as a play toy. Anyway, with the Renegade, what basically transpired was couldn't get no result out of the dealership. It was the same stuff. The engine was still burning oil. The dealership wasn't doing anything to help me with it. I went back and forth with one manager and another one and the service manager. Then I got involved with the actual owner of the dealership, contacted him, still couldn't get any real good result. Went back and forth. They talked us into trading, which we agreed to. We went through all that rigmarole. We were going to trade for a Wrangler, a 4-door Unlimited, and spoke with the owner. We test drove it for about a week. Took it back to the dealership on a Friday. Spoke with the owner again on Saturday. Agreed on a price with the trade, and he promised to get the paperwork done up. And anyway, the following week they sold the Wrangler out from under us before we signed any paperwork or anything, and so that was just adding insult to injury with the situation. I got pissed off and spoke my piece about it very politely, and left. And didn't go back. And I made him a promise when I left. And this is the part I'm telling you. This is not. It may not be the way you want to handle it, but this is the way I handled it, and eventually I got result. But I made him a promise when I left that dealership that this area is a small town, and I've lived here 42 years of my life, and I know a lot of people, and Facebook is a powerful tool when used correctly. So I went home and I sat down and I compromised a post that listed every single transaction and interaction with that dealership, with all the managers, the owner, what was done, what wasn't done, how I was treated, exactly what was said. And I made them a promise that once a month, every time I had to make a payment on that Renegade, that I was going to post it on Facebook and share it. They threatened me with lawyers, which is bullshit. As long as you're not fabricating any of the stuff that you're putting out there, they can't sue you for the truth. I knew that. They knew that. So I left and I made that promise and I kept that promise. And that went on for about 5 or 6 months maybe. And I kept track and tabs of car sales that I had diverted. People leaving comments telling me they were looking at a Dodge product, they were thinking about shopping at this particular dealership, and I kept track of it, and I kind of worked, at a dealership for a short while. I know roundabout how much money's made on a car sale, and I kept track of it, kept tally of it, and so it wound up costing them a goodly sum. Let's just say that it was well over the 20K mark, and that's just in a few months time span. So long story short, the owner of the dealership, he actually called me wanting to wave the white flag, saying that he wanted this situation to go away because he knew it was eating him up. It was costing him money, and so he wanted to know what it was going to take for the problem to go away. And me and my wife, we discussed it and talked about it. We tabled 3 scenarios and kept coming back to the same one. And so the owner wanted us to meet with him at the dealership, which we reluctantly did. So I had vowed I would never go back in that place, but in light of doing things in a business sense and trying to get this thing behind us, we did, and sat down with him and basically just told him that the only real solution to any of it was to buy the vehicle back. And he didn't like it. He was not happy with it. My wife actually wound up in an accident with it several months back. Not due to her fault. She was rear-ended, and it done a significant amount of damage. It was over $10,000 worth of damage, and he knew it had been wrecked because they had to take the vehicle back up there to the dealership to get an airbag module reprogrammed on it, and so he wasn't happy about buying it back. But in light of the situation, he knew that was going to be the best option for him because of what it was costing him monthly on car sales, because it was eating him up. I promise you, it was eating him up. And I'm not exaggerating. And this was only a time span of just a few months. And if you start digging into them car sales, trust me, they will feel it. Their employees, they will feel it. That service department, they will feel it. Because that service department is a big chunk of what a dealership makes in whole. Trust me, they do. That's what I used to do. And I worked in service department, and they make a lot of money. So when you start, cutting into that and cutting into the car sales on top of that, a dealership can't stand it for very long. It's like the saying goes, bad news travels fast. And it's true. And so if you're having this problem with Chrysler, with their product, with this Tiger Shark engine, I'm not telling you what to do, but that's just how I handled it. And I got results. They bought the vehicle back, and I felt like half a dozen one the other. It was about an equal loss because they were going to lose on it reselling it because it'd been wrecked, and having to deal with the engine situation, and we lost on our down payment and all that. So we walked away. They purchased the vehicle back. It was a lesson learned. I'll never own another Chrysler product. Never own another Fiat, Dodge, anything that falls under that umbrella of the Chrysler Corporation. I'm never going to do that again because they have the absolute worst customer service that you have ever dealt with in your life. They price those vehicles cheap. They price them right to get them sold. That's what they are. They're priced to sell. They're not priced to last. Believe you me, they're not. I'm probably going to do another video later on because the outfit that I work with, we just purchased several Dodge Ram pickups as work trucks, and I'm curious to see how they're going to hold up. I already know, but I'm going to let you know later on down the road anyway, just for shits and giggles. But like I said, Dodge, Jeep, I'm done with that. So use social media to get your results. If you're having problems with it, let it be known, because trust me, there's thousands of you out there. I know there is. I've already seen the comments in my previous videos. I hope that this one gets seen. I hope that this one goes out and lets everybody know that, what kind of problem there is with Chrysler in general, with their customer service and their engineering and everything. It's very poor quality. It's not, none of it's, built to last. It's just cheap, throw together junk is what it is. So don't let the price point fool you. It's like the old saying goes, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. So I hope all of y'all are being safe in this coronavirus situation and adhering to the guidelines, and I hope everybody's safe, and leave your comments in the listing below, and let me hear from you. And I hope this helps. Y'all have a good day.